Hey there everyone. Have you ever wanted to build your own sword like this, but you only have cardboard? Today I'm going to be showing you how, but on a smaller scale. What I use for this is a 1/4 inch, I think, dowel rod. It's a foot long right now, because it was cut when I made my arming sword, but today we're making a dagger. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this is all the stuff you're going to need. Obviously cardboard, your dowel rod, scissors. These are optional. You really don't need popsicle sticks. I just use them sometimes. You'll want a ruler, hot glue gun, hot glue, and a Sharpie. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is figure out where you want your hand to be on this, like dagger or sword or whatever you're making here. So just grab it. Since this is going to be only used in one hand, it's going to be pretty short. So once you've figured out where you want your hand to be, just go ahead and mark that one. Okay, once you've marked this, you can go ahead and move on to the next step. For this step, you'll need your cardboard and your ruler. Use the ruler to find out how wide of a blade you want. I'm gonna do mine at like the 2-inch mark. It's not a very big blade, so yep. Once you've got the 2-inch mark or whatever mark you're using, once you've got your mark, you make sure it's fully marked so you can see how far up, and put this blade, or the handle, I mean, in front of this just to see if it's the proportions you want. Now what you're going to want to do is get your ruler and put it up against your mark to make it as long as you're trying to make it. And get your pen, and I'm not going to do this one-handed obviously, but go ahead and mark across the whole thing. Okay, so now that it's marked, I'd recommend using scissors to cut it, or if you have one, use an X-Acto knife or something like that. Okay, once you have your piece cut out, one thing to keep in mind while you're cutting is the grain that you might have. So for this cut, I made it like straight on down this way, but depending on what you're making, you might want to change the grain to this way instead of straight up. When you made your cut, you're going to want to make a second one of your cut, so cut out this piece again, and that'll make sense later, but yeah, just do what I tell you. So my dowel rod has this from when I cut it before. If it makes it harder for you, remove it. I'd say probably keep it if it doesn't affect anything. I'm gonna cut this off though because it's sticking out quite a bit. Okay, once you're finally ready, I would recommend probably starting to warm up your hot glue, unless yours warms up super fast. So mine doesn't. It takes like 10 minutes to warm up. So while my hot glue gun is warming up, I've used some of my scissors to some more strips. I'm gonna finish up with a knife though, because my scissors are really bad. Always be careful with knives, by the way. I don't want angry people in my comments. So once your thing is warmed up, go and grab your hot glue gun and just run hot glue where it should be, like starting it and where it should end. So I'm gonna do that because it's easier with 2 hands. And this part can be a little bit tricky because you have to get small little rods of, not rods, but like strips of cardboard and put them in between these lines here. So yeah, I'm just gonna demonstrate because I don't think that made any sense. You want to make strips of cardboard like this, so then you can put them on the sides here, and then once you have enough cardboard, slide those together, and it'll make like a blade shape. So once you've got all this on the sides of your cardboard, I'd recommend getting another cardboard strip first and putting them on that before you glue this to this. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so once you've got these strips onto your cardboard, you're gonna go ahead and put them over your handle or whatever. You want to glue this onto your handle once you're done with it. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so once you have your thing glued to your dowel rod, you're gonna want to squish in the sides like this, all the way up. If you don't have a lot of hot glue on hand, I would suggest making your strips with a different glue before using hot glue for this, because it will take a lot. Also, another tip, this something that you'll probably want to do in smaller segments. I remember when I did it before, my cardboard was really stiff and I just didn't want to glue, so yeah. So try not to get burnt during this segment. It's really easy to. As soon as I made that cut, actually, I got burnt. Okay, so once this is dry like this, you can go ahead and cut up the side to make it more of an angle. Okay, so once you're done here, you can go on and move to the other side. So once everything is done drying, go ahead and you can cut the top part. Okay, so for the handle, go ahead and cut a piece of cardboard like this, but make sure the grain is going in this direction so that you can bend this. So have this bent enough, go ahead and wrap this around here. Okay, so now as that's done.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Then I'm gonna go and make a pommel using a piece of extra cardboard. To finish this off, I'm just gonna use an extra piece of what I used for the handle to finish the handle. Oh yeah, and here's the pommel. Okay, and this is the finished product. There you go. I hope this was helpful for you.